once beaten LSU Tigers come into town to take on the undefeated Crimson Tide of Alabama. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Todd Blackledge and Tracy Wolfson. In the long and rich history between Jackson, this one goes on one hop into the hands of 5'5" Brandon Brooks. Out to the 25-yard line, from which point the Crimson Tide will put it in play. Brody Croyle, fifth-year senior, healthy this year. Missed all but 3 games a year ago. We welcome you back to the capstone, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Jamarcus Russell, quarterback for the Tigers, a homecoming of sorts. He is a sophomore from Mobile, Alabama.
And he just slapped hands with Wallace Gilberry right before this first play. They're old buddies from their high school all-star days.
They'll throw on first down out to Skylar Green. And he stiff arms, turns the corner, skips out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Sent there by Jawan Simpson. Let's check this very, very athletic offensive line, Todd.
Yeah, very good. Andrew Whitworth, one of the best in the country. Terrell McGill, a new starter in there at the left guard. They've had some injury problems there. Nieswanger, the center. In the backfield, Joseph Adai, only 3 carries in each of the last 2 games with an ankle bruise, but he's back and a big key to their offense. Green, Brazell, and David Jones, the tight end. And we'll see several other receivers in this LSU offense.
High formation on 2nd and 6. Here's the reverse. It comes left side to Skylar Green. Jawan Simpson stays home and forces him out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Nice defensive job by number 42.
Staying at home. This Alabama defense very rarely out of position, very rarely makes a mistake up front. Not a dominating group. Gilberry and Anderson, good rushers on the outside. Griffin and Britt on the inside. The strength, the linebackers. Freddie Roach in the middle. D'Amico Ryans, one of the 3 finalists for the Butkus Award. And in the back, the 2 safeties have both started over 40 games, Roman Harper and Charlie Pepper.
Joe Kynes, defensive coordinator. He was also the defensive coordinator when head coach Mike Shula was the starting quarterback here 20 years ago.
One of the things in this game, 3rd down and 1 to 6, much different than 37 plus, but right away you see the effect of the crowd noise here in Tuscaloosa. Right tackle Brian Johnson jumping a little early, and now a 3rd and 3 or 4 turns into a 3rd and 9. And those are little things that become big. Brian Johnson, he's not watching the ball. See, he's trying to listen to Jamarcus Russell's voice. You are not going to be able to do that when you're on offense if you're LSU today. You must look into the football and not count on being able to hear your quarterback's voice.
3rd and 9. 3 wides, and Russell in the gun. There's a blitz from the corner. They hand it off, and it gets by D'Amico Ryans. But Adai is caught and dropped as D'Amico Ryans, the All-American linebacker, comes up and gets him from behind.
One of the things that Joe Kynes says about D'Amico Ryans is he has great eyes. And what he means by that is he sees and recognizes things so quickly. He's going to come on the outside. He sees it, he reads it, he falls into the play, and he makes the tackle. It doesn't take him very long to recognize what a play is.
So 3 and out for LSU, but this is not a strong point for Alabama. Punt returns, and they've got Brandon Brooks back. Tim Castile was with him, but now Castile moves up. Chris Jackson will punt. The net punting for LSU this year has been superb. They go for the block and just miss it. Fair catch called by Brooks.
How did they miss that?
I have no...
Theo Townsend, number 40, ran right up the middle and somehow missed the ball. You could tell LSU was a little concerned by this look. Theo Townsend is going to come unblocked. I mean, nobody picks him up, and he just went past the ball.
Opportunity. 1st down and 10. Backs in the eye. 2 wide receivers to the left side. Darby. Not much there. Not anything there, as a matter of fact. Well, this is an Alabama football team that lost Tyrone Prothro here a month ago in a 31-3 win over Florida. They have gone 13 quarters of SEC games now with 1 touchdown. 13 quarters. That came on a run by Kenneth Darby against Ole Miss. Penalties, turnovers last week cost them. 2nd and 8.
Well, they had 2 fumbles in the red zone last week. They moved the ball very well in the first half, just couldn't score.
Here comes the blitz from the corner. Coyle reads it, goes man coverage left side. Beautiful pass, caught by Keith Brown. There's the opportunity you were talking about.
Right. I mean, when you play a team that blitzes, the only way to make them stop blitzing is to make them pay for it. You must do that. Now, the only way you can do that is you must pick up the pressure first. Watch the offensive line, and they pick up the safety Landry. Just enough time for Brody Coyle to get the ball up in the air accurately. He throws a great deep football out over the outside shoulder, and you're going to get those one-on-one matchups until you if you can't prove that you can beat a blitz, a team will continue to blitz the whole game.
That's a gain of 26 and a first down inside the 30. Here's the cross sweep. Darby with LaRon McClain leading the way, and again, nothing doing. Brody Coyle chatting with us yesterday afternoon said, we are so close, and we will...
1 yard on the play.
We will score.
Well, they've got to get balance in their offense. I mean, in order for them to have a chance, they've got to be able to threaten this team vertically with their deep passing, and they've got to get Darby involved. And I think that they have done a nice job of managing Darby's carries up to this point. Only 19 carries a game, but I would expect him to carry it near 30 today.
2nd and 9. Here's Coyle under pressure, throws it away, incomplete. Kyle Williams.
Well, Kyle Williams is going to be a nightmare for Taylor Britt today. I mean, he's lined up right over the nose. Here he is, and he's just caught in a cocked position right off the right ear of Taylor Britt, and he just goes right past him. You see how quick and how strong he is, and Brody Coyle has no chance. I mean, and this is smart by Bo Pelini. Take one of those tackles and put him directly over the center, so the center has to block him without being able to get help from the guard.
And again, advantage LSU. Here's Bo Pelini, 37 years old, defensive coordinator last year at Oklahoma, year prior to that at Nebraska. 3rd and 9. And Jamie Christensen is not a long-range field goal kicker. If they are not successful on this 3rd down, here's Coyle in trouble. Finds Ezekiel Knight, and he suffered the dropsies.
And that was the other tackle. That was Claude Roten, who forced Brody Coyle to get rid of that one before he wanted to. Kyle Williams on 2nd down. Claude Roten on 3rd down. Beat his man, B.J. Stabler, the guard. And number 98 is going to get in there quickly and force Brody Coyle to step up and then throw the ball sooner than he wanted to.
Here's Jamie Christensen, the star of the wins over Tennessee and Ole Miss. But as you see, the longest this season is 43. This is from 46. He's missed 2 of his last 3 field goal attempts. That's got plenty of distance. Missed it. Advantage Louisiana State.
Well, again, special teams. You go back to the missed opportunity when they didn't get the block punt. They get the ball and move it a little bit and then miss a field goal. Every little thing counts in a game of this magnitude.
Here's what is at stake. Alabama undefeated in conference play. LSU 1 defeat. Auburn plays at Georgia tonight. Russell, right side, incomplete. Now let's go back to the studio for this game-changing performance, powered by Pontiac.
All right, Vern, our first huge storyline of the day, 4th and 11, South Carolina up 8, punting to Florida. The Gators were penalized for 12 men on the field, thus giving the Gamecocks the ball and a chance to run out the clock. Now, in the event of a 3-way tie in the SEC East, Vern, South Carolina would go to the SEC title game on December the 3rd. How about that?
Pretty amazing coaching job.
You're not kidding.
By the old ball coach. Here's the handoff at the 30. Joseph Adai treated rather rudely by Wallace Gilberry, number 92. It'll be 3rd down.
And right now you're seeing how this game is going to shape up. 1st and 2nd down, you better make some plays against either one of these defenses, because if you get in 3rd and long, you're going to have some problems. LSU can really rush the passer, and Alabama, not a heavy blitz team, but they cover passing game extremely well.
3rd and 8. from the 31. Russell, 5 yards back. Alabama brings 5. They stunt. Russell has time, and he's got a man open, but he throws it behind him. Intended for Skylar Green. 4th down.
I think Jamarcus threw that one maybe a little sooner than he really needed to. He knew there was pressure coming, but everybody was accounted for on the pass protection, and he might have been able to hold this one a little bit longer to allow Skylar Green to come out of his break.
Last time on 4th down, these two were deep, and then Simeon Castile moved up, and Alabama went for Chris Jackson. Let's see if they've got the return on this time. I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so too. I mean, that was a one shot they took at it and had it and missed it.
Chris Jackson, their net punt is outstanding this year, and this one is going to be very effective as Brooks gathers it in. Baby.
Great hang time. I mean, he wouldn't have had anything to do with that. The hang time was outstanding.
Well, we talked about the net punt. It's up there near 39 yards per. It was in this game last year that he suffered a sports hernia and did not play much in the final 2 games of the year. Here's Croyle back on 1st down. Deep for Travis McCall, the tight end. And Cameron Vaughn was defending. Well, when did they last score in the SEC? October 16th. It was Kenneth Darby, 48-yard touchdown run. That came with 12:07 remaining in the 3rd, and it was Alabama's only offensive touchdown against an SEC opponent in the last 13 quarter splits.
And they're 9th in the SEC in red zone offense. Last week they fumbled once, they threw an interception once when they were in the red zone.
Now the change by Brody Croyle. 4 down for LSU, 2 on the shot clock, the play clock. And there's Darby down to the 11. It'll be 3rd down and 3 or 4 depending on the spot.
3rd down, 3 or 4 for this Alabama team is manageable because they don't necessarily have to get in a 4 wide receiver package. They can stay with a fullback. They can stay with tight end. And the run is just as much of a threat as a pass when you're 3rd down and less than 6. And that's what they have right now. So far in the game, they have not converted a 3rd down. 0 for 3.
5th defensive back Jonathan Zenon is a late arrival defensively for LSU. 3rd and 4. Here's Croyle, stunts. Croyle goes in the corner, mix up.
You know what? Now Brody's got to set his feet. Now Kyle Williams has got Brody a little bit nervous right now, and deservedly so, because he is so quick off the ball, and Taylor Britt cannot handle it. But Brody Croyle's got to trust that they're going to do their job up front, and he needs to do his job, which means set his feet. Watch Kyle Williams just get so quick off the ball. He and Roten, I mean, they are right there in Brody's lap, but Brody has to keep retreating, set his feet, and make a solid throw.
And so Christensen, who's missed 3 of his last 4, including 1 earlier in this game, this from 28 yards out. Matt Miller, a senior, holds it. Snap is good. The hold is down. The kick is through, and the Crimson Tide of Alabama draws first blood. Tuesday on CBS, it's country music's biggest night, live from the country's biggest city. Catch all your favorite stars, plus a once-in-a-lifetime duet by Elton John and Dolly Parton. Elton John and Dolly Parton. Brooks and Dunn host the CMA Awards live from New York. I'm just visualizing. Tuesday on CBS, America's most watched network. 67 yards, 10 plays, much of it on the ground from Kenneth Darby. And it set up the 28-yard field goal. Alabama up. Given the defensive prowess of these two teams, I actually did look up in the records. They played to a 0-0 tie in 1927, so I guess we don't have to talk about that again.
No, that one's out. Good research, though.
Lonely nights. Here's the kick taken by Skylar Green, the ever-dangerous Skylar Green. And he's tackled as he nears the 20-yard line. And while we've got a moment here, let's spend it back in New York. Once again, here's Tim.
All right, Vern, these are the teams that Alabama needs a little help from, okay? Kansas not getting it done for Alabama. As you see here, Vince Young throwing off the wrong foot, 64 yards. Quan Gosby in a jump ball takes it. It's 21-0 in the first. California did get a field goal when they were in scoring territory. It's now 7-3 USC as they open the second in Berkeley.
All right, thank you, Tim. Texas, of course, 9-0, averaging over 40 points per game, and there was a flag on the kick return.
You know, crazy. Any other year, Vince Young would be a lock.
3 and outs on its first 2 possessions. They're at the 20. Justin Vincent now replaces Joseph Adai at running back. He's played extensively in the last 2 games against North Texas and Appalachian State. This is neither North Texas nor Appalachian State.
And this run defense, again with Alabama, you're not going to gash this defense the way you can gash very many defenses because they just don't get out of position. You've got 6 seniors out of your starting 11. They've been playing in the same system for 3 years under Joe Hines. As freshmen and sophomores, they did get gashed a lot. They gave up a school record, 333 points, but they have gotten better and better. And this year, as fine a defense as you'll see in college football.
See, they're number 1 points per game, 3rd overall. 2nd down and 10. Jamarcus Russell. Blitz coming from the outside. That one is complete to Dwayne Bowe, and it's the first LSU first down as Bowe makes the grab at the 32-yard line.
And a nice matchup. Dwayne Bowe is 6'3", 220 pounds. Anthony Madison, 5'9", 180. Hard to get around a big-bodied receiver like that. Madison was in good position. He just couldn't get around him to get anywhere near the football. It's like boxing out to get a rebound. If you're a wide receiver, just use your big frame and stay between your man and the ball.
First down at the 32. Play fake. Russell screen pass. Chased. Gilberry misses it. Russell pulls it. Fires. Got a man, Bowe. And Bowe is wide open. The tackle made by Roman Harper, but not before. A 25-yard gain for Louisiana State. Flag is down.
And didn't Joe Hines tell us yesterday, when they've made their big plays in the passing game, it has come when something has busted and Jamarcus Russell has gotten outside on the rush and thrown the ball downfield. An ineligible man downfield, a costly penalty against LSU. And a lot of times on a scramble that happens, but watch Jamarcus Russell. He's got to make good decisions. He doesn't have what he wants on the screen pass. Okay, I see what happened now. That was supposed to be a screen.
Right.
And the reason that there was an ineligible man downfield is because Russell didn't have the screen, so he scrambled and made a throw downfield.
Joe Hines also said this is the most quotable assistant coach in America.
He's the best.
And he said yesterday about Jamarcus Russell, who is 6'6", 250. He can flick it 55 yards with a flick of a wrist. If he grunts, he can heave it 80. Here's Russell. No grunt here. In trouble, shakes the tackle, gets a block, tries to rumble. He is not really that agile a runner.
I think he used to be. You know, he was a great high school basketball player, but that was back about 25, 30 pounds ago. He's 250 pounds now, and he's athletic, but he's not nimble. And he gets out here and kind of stumbles up before Freddie Roach can get to him. But he is big, and if you come in there to sack him, you better bring a load with you, because you're not going to knock him on the ground if you don't hit him hard.
He never seriously thought about playing football at Alabama, but Mark Gottfried did recruiting for basketball here. So did North Carolina. He told us in football it came down to Florida State or LSU. Here's the draw play. Vincent coming left. Finding not much, breaks the tackle. How about that? And it was D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah.
That's rare.
That is very rare. Charlie Pepper was up there also. And you see Justin Vincent, who, because of the injury to Joseph Adai, has gotten to run the ball a lot the last 2 weeks. You don't see either one of these guys miss many tackles, but that's good physical running by Vincent. He had 89 yards on 16 carries last week against Appalachian State, and running with a lot more confidence because of the extra playing time he's got in the last couple weeks.
See, 159 yards. In his freshman year, he was a star in this team that won the national championship. MVP of the SEC championship game with 200 yards. Now Stelz, the fullback, the handoff to Vincent, goes right. And the line of resistance stiffens at the 45-yard line. Charlie Pepperell, one of that very experienced group of defensive backs, makes the tackle. Chris Harris also.
You know, you got to remember about this LSU offense. I mean, they are dangerous. They've got great skilled players, but their best running back, Ali Broussard, is the guy who hurt his knee in August and hasn't played a down for him this year. He was the returning starter, but Joseph Adai has filled in exceptionally well, and Justin Vincent, like I mentioned, the last few weeks, played very well.
Vincent is the running back on 2nd down and 8. 3 men down for Alabama. Now they threaten the blitz. They're coming from the corners. Jawan Simpson.
See, you better get him down.
Yes, indeed.
I asked Jawan when we met with him Friday, what's it like going to tackle a quarterback that's bigger than you? He said, I don't worry about that too much. They almost let him get by him. I thought Jawan was very close to being offsides. Here he is right here. He's going to get a great jump on the tight end, David Jones. I mean, he got around Whitworth. He may have been there a hair early, but he made sure he got Russell down to the ground. Watch how quickly he got off the ball, and then Russell did a nice job of holding on to the football.
That is the first sack by Alabama. It's 3rd and 23. And again, they threaten the blitz. Draw play. Vincent breaks into the secondary, but does not get nearly enough as DeMarcus Waldrop, number 44, is there to force the tackle, and it'll be 4th down.
Neither team has converted a 3rd down so far in the game. If you want to stay on the field offensively, you better convert 3rd down. 0 for 6 combined, and most of them have been 3rd and 7+.
Chris Jackson, you saw the graphic, best in the country in net punt, and he had a 47-yard net punt earlier. Brandon Brooks is the only man back. Here comes the rush, and they come after it again, this time not quite as close. Fair catch, and a big shift in field position now. And that is a 48-yard punt with nothing on the return.
Simeon Castile was the guy who almost got on that one.
Watch an exclusive SEC.
Those statistics, we are not going to beat LSU today 6-3. We're not going to beat them with field goals only. We must score touchdowns when we get the chance, and right now is a great chance.
Well, the dry spell now encompasses 14 quarters. First down and 10. After the penalty, here's Coyle back. Draw play. Left side, Darby. Inside the 10, struggles down to the 8-yard line. Brandon Washington, number 97. There's J.B. Klausner, senior from San Antonio. Brody Croyle's best friend. Brody Croyle stayed with him and rode home in the ambulance all the way from Starkville to Tuscaloosa last week. I guess there is, Todd, an outside chance if they get a January the 2nd bowl game, he might be back.
It'd be tough, but I'm sure he's going to try to use that as incentive in his rehab when he can start doing some things.
Brody Croyle said that his best friend was so medicated that it was really a fun trip. Draw play. Darby. Good pursuit defensively by LSU. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, see, now LSU has the advantage on this 3rd down play. 2nd down, you've got that LSU defense not knowing for sure if you're going to run or throw, but now 3rd down at this point of the field, you pretty much have to throw if you want to go for the touchdown. And LSU knows they don't have to cover deep because the end zone will help in their coverage. I would expect a blitz here. If Alabama does throw, I wouldn't be surprised to see LSU try to go after him here.
Hall goes wide right. Keith Brown is wide left. One running back directly behind Brody Croyle. He'll throw, blitz from the corner. Into the middle. Touchdown! The drought is ended. DJ Hall. Christensen for the extra point. And since October 16th on the road in Oxford in the third quarter. The Alabama Crimson Tide finds out what scoring a touchdown is like.
Well, here's DJ Hall. He's coming in motion, and he's going to slip to right here. But watch Ken Darby also with the block on the blitzing safety. You've got to pick him up. Darby blocks. Croyle stays in there and finds his man, and Alabama finds the end zone. Kind of expect him to slog around a little bit.
Here comes the blitz on third down. Coyle goes deep, and there's a mix-up as Keith Brown got turned around. He was running a post, and the pass went over the outside corner, and there's some contact.
Yeah.
Chase Pittman, the defensive end, and Brody Coyle.
Yeah, and you see who the most popular guy on this team is. I mean, every Alabama player had something to put in the ear of Chase Pittman to protect their quarterback. Pittman got good pressure and forced the throw. Here's Pittman right down here, number 94. He's going to get past the left tackle caps and hit the quarterback and do a little extra drive at the end of that, and then you see the face and the face mask. Could have very easily called something on Pittman. Brody took offense to it, and so did about 10 other guys.
Here's one of those moments, if you're an LSU fan, you think this could be it. Skylar Green has returned 4 punts for touchdowns in his career. He's at the 45-yard line. Jeremy Schatz back to try and knock it away from him. It's high and deep. This is a fine punt. And Green has to call the fair catch. 5'7", 148-pound Jeremy Schatz, 52 yards.
Very easy.
LSU, they're down by 10. This is their best starting field position of the first half.
Jamarcus Russell, the last 2 weeks against certainly lesser competition, but he completed 77% of his passes, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's become a much better game manager, and he looks under control in this game. And at 10-0, LSU still very much in this football game.
First down and 10. They're coming with a blitz. Play action. He's in trouble again. Dodges the tackle, puts it on his back foot, and completes the play to Buster Davis.
That throw?
Wow.
I mean,
across the body and falling away.
Unbelievable throw. And that's that flick of the wrist. You know, rolling to his left, a right-handed quarterback making a play when there's no play there. Alabama brings pressure, and Russell first avoids the sack, and then watch this little flick of the wrist. His body's moving to the sideline and flicks it out there for Buster Davis.
Wow. That's a gain of 22, and that brings to mind what Joe Kine said. If he grunts, he can heave it 80 yards.
Well, I think they are going to review this. They called it a catch, but there was a little bit of a bobble at the end.
Now the use of instant replay now. The replay official today is Bob Patrick, and the observer is Bobby Gaston, the director of officials in the SEC.
Yeah, saw him before the game. Beautiful throw. The question, does he have control before he hits the ground? Ground can't cause a fumble. I doubt they'll overrule that.
A 7-1 LSU team. Their one loss at home to Tennessee when they were up 21-0 at the half. There's tip incomplete.
Freddie Roach got his hand on it. Freddie Roach leads this team in passes broken up. And he probably would lead this team in interceptions if he had better hands. But he does a nice job on this one, just getting in the throwing lane, getting both hands on the football.
Now, there was one game earlier in the season when he dropped 3 sure interceptions. Yeah. And last week, Charlie Pepra had one right in his midst with an open field in front of him. He was catching some grief from Freddie Roach. He said, that's when I knew I really had screwed up.
Maybe they both need to take some lessons from Rudy Griffin. He got one last week.
Second down and 10. Hand off to Vincent, quick opener. And about 3 yards. Let's check in with Tracy Wolfson. Trace?
Guys, it's the LSU O-line that's hearing it today. Line coach Stacy Searles showing his frustration. He put his hand through this dry erase board. Actually, it was the right side of the line that he's really frustrated with.
Well, you know, the thing about that is, did they bring backup grease boards? You know they bring extra shoes, extra jerseys, chin straps, but do they travel extra grease boards on the road?
Well, every team has a get-back coach. I wonder if there's a grease board coach.
I don't know.
Stacy Searles, offensive line coach. Third down.
0 for 4 on third down today, LSU.
Here comes the threatened blitz. Charlie Pepra He's not coming. There is a linebacker. This one, nice catch. Wow.
What a catch.
Buster Davis, number 3 for the first down at the 29-yard line.
Again, a big receiver, 6'2", 200 pounds against a smaller corner. Madison's in good position on the slant, but a big, strong receiver shields him away from the football. You talked about the injuries with Craig Davis, a couple concussions. He missed the Mississippi State and Florida game, but he's come back in the last 3 games now and really reasserted himself in this offense.
Time call by the line judge. That was, by the way, the first third down conversion for LSU in the ball game. They're now 1 of 5. And the Crimson Tide calls timeout. 5:18 to go. First half of play. Mike Shula, third year. 12, second and 22. Wallace Gilberry, who was the first player signed by Mike Shula and his staff July 3 years ago. Here comes the blitz, screen pass. And it's going to be hitting. It hit Nate Livings.
Yeah.
That's an ineligible receiver.
Well, but I think there was also holding on Rudy Griffin because Justin Vincent was the intended receiver, and Rudy Griffin is going to put a bear hug on him. Here's Rudy right here. And as he sees the screen, he's going to grab Justin Vincent. That play, again, well read and recognized by Alabama.
In the defense. It's a 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Justin Vincent, the intended receiver on the screen pass, and he's just pulled away from the ball right there. Rudy Griffin from his defensive tackle spot said, no, you're not catching the ball.
So instead of second and 22, it's second and 12. Make it 13 officially. Second down, 13. Rudy Griffin. Now Jamarcus Russell looks over Jimbo Fisher upstairs, and he gets the call relay.
Very important drive right here for LSU. They're in scoring territory. Even if they don't get a touchdown, they need to score some points for a momentum change in the ball game.
3 down, blitz coming. There's a flag, and it will be a pre-snap flag, illegal procedure against LSU.
Yeah, there was movement first from Alabama. Did that movement cause LSU to move or not? I thought Mark Anderson moved first for Alabama. It'd be interesting how they rule this. There definitely was movement by LSU, but I think Mark Anderson's movement first may have drawn the movement from LSU. Watch Mark Anderson. Watch him move inside first. And see if he moves. Now the tight end moved, David Jones, but if they rule that it was caused by the movement of the defense.
Offside. 47 in defense. And the neutral zone causing the offense to jump. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, it's a couple penalties by Alabama now helping the LSU cause. They had them second and 22. And in 2 back-to-back penalties, now it's second down and 8.
Davis near side, Bo top of the screen. 3 men down for the Crimson Tide.
Hard to audible in a situation like this, boy.
That's the student section. Handoff. Third down. Well, we talked a lot about the difficulty the Alabama offense has been having getting in the end zone. This defense has given up 19 points in the last 5 games. 1 touchdown in the last 5.
Amazing. And LSU's not quite in the red zone yet, but in the red zone, Alabama, the last 16 possessions teams have been in the red zone, 0 touchdowns. Amazing.
And the Tigers opt to use a timeout. That is their first. They've got 2 remaining. I tell you, if you're a pom-pom fan, this is your end zone.
One for 5 on third down. Big one here for Jamarcus Russell.
Has time. Fires it incomplete, 4th down. Now, we talked about Jamie Christensen not having great length. That same could be said for Chris Jackson, the field goal kicker for LSU. His longest of the season is 44, and he's been called upon only 10 times. He's 5 of 10. So here is Jackson, who also punts. This is from 43. To get the Tigers on the board. Matt Flynn is the holder. High snap. Kick is down. Didn't get it.
They have 2 field goal kickers. Colt David is the guy that kicks the extra points in the short field goals. Chris Jackson is the guy they call on for the longer field goals. He has plenty of leg and distance on this, but he pulls it left. I'd say that's way left. I couldn't even see the goalpost.
That's left of left.
That's big left.
At the 27.
DeMarcus.
A little wake-up call.
All right, 1st down and 10 here. Coyle back to throw. And that one is it's catchable.
Yep, they've got to make those catches. You know,
Yes.
1st down, they got the protection. They need to make these catches because it's hard to throw on these guys on 3rd down. The 4th drop pass in the ball game for Alabama. And Brody Croyle, I mean, if he gets protection like that and makes the accurate throw, Alabama needs to find a way to come up with the catch.
2nd down and 10. Coyle 9 of 20. 4 drops. So make it a much more respectable 13 of 20 had they held on. 2nd and 10. 10-0. Here comes the blitz. Run blitz. And Darby, elusive as ever, out to the 32-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down. And it's time now to answer our Aflac trivia question. Here was the question. The last regular season game in which Alabama was ranked in the top 5 and defeated a top 5 opponent. You sure you don't remember this? October 9th, 1982.
No.
Alabama defeated a team from Penn State, 42-21.
That is so wrong.
Sometimes you got to be held accountable, pal.
I just didn't realize we were number 3 at that time. All I know is we finished number 1. So.
Oh. Nicely stated.
Where did Alabama finish that year?
In Tuscaloosa, actually.
Oh, they thumped us. Man.
Tim Castile is back in. Here's Coyle on 3rd down. Wings it. Got the 1st down. Now is he? Well, I don't know. Let's see what the spot is.
Forward progress, I think, will give it to him. But again, now that's a good job. Quick pass. I think Alabama has a good strategy here. Quick throws. Don't ask the line to hold them out too long. Don't ask Brody Croyle to hold on to the ball too long. It's just a matter of the receivers making the catch. Ezekiel Knight comes up with a big one there.
And the stretch ever so important with 2:42 to go. Ooh.
That's by a nose.
That's a smidgen.
Yeah, that's a smidge.
That's a smidgen.
That chain might be a little bit longer in Baton Rouge, but they got it by a smidge right there.
Mike Shula.
I like what Alabama's done offensively. You know, everybody's talked about their defense is good enough to win a national championship. Their offense isn't very good. Well, today, their offense has controlled things. They've moved the ball. They've run the ball effectively. They've hit some passes. They've let their defense stay off the field.
And now they buy an extra 90 seconds at least here, you would think. They have 1 timeout left. Here's Darby on the sweep coming left. Got Caldwell in front. Caldwell with a great block again. And B.J. Hall was out there helping around the corner. Cameron Vaughn, number 46, makes the tackle. Don't you just really enjoy watching Kenneth Darby run?
Yeah, I really do. And I like watching Antoine Caldwell lead. I mean, he can really pull out there and get something done on the perimeter. The wide receivers are blocking. And Kenneth Darby just has such good vision, as all great backs do. He knows how to set up his blocks and wait and be patient.
See, already 110 yards. 68 of those belong to Kenneth Darby on 11 carries. 2nd down and short. They'll try him again. And I think your anticipation of using him a lot today on the mark.
Last year he had games, back-to-back games, 36 carries against Mississippi State, 35 carries against LSU last year in Baton Rouge. This year, the most he's ever carried in a game is 23. I would expect him to be in the 30s today. Alabama, on the one hand, thinking, hey, let's run this clock down and not let LSU have the ball back, but they're across the 50. They may want to try to be a little more aggressive here and see if they can add to their lead.
Here's Coyle, fakes the screen, goes right side. He's got Darby, but Darby is surrounded by Tigers.
Cameron Vaughn with a nice play. That's a double screen. You fake the screen one way and intentionally come back and throw it the other way, but Cameron Vaughn, the middle linebacker, not fooled that time for LSU.
Final minute. Now let's see how much how much of a hurry.
2nd and 10.
Alabama is in. 2nd down.
They only have one timeout, so you want to try to save that as much as you can.
3 down for LSU defensively. Here's Coyle. Across the middle. Keith Brown breaks the tackle. That'll be close for a 1st down. So the clock stops with 32 seconds to go. They'll see if they measure.
And a nice job picking up the blitz by the Alabama offensive line. And a nice job by Keith Brown breaking a tackle of Daniel Francis.
Bo Pelini, the 37-year-old defensive coordinator, matching wits with Dave Rader, the offensive coordinator for Alabama. Darby still in there. And the clock, 27 seconds. Here comes the blitz. Coyle off his back foot. Leaves it up for Hall, who has to adjust. He was there, but Coyle had to let it go in a hurry.
Yeah, LaRon Landry came free on a safety blitz. They love to blitz their safeties. And that time, I don't know if this was a missed assignment or what. Now, LaRon Landry, boy, that could have been close to a helmet to the head. But he is a physical safety. They love to blitz him, and he forced the bad throw. That was quite a shot.
18 seconds to go.
It looked like Kenneth Darby blocked out on the end Chase Pittman that time, and Landry came inside free to the quarterback.
Castile in the backfield. And again, the blitz is coming by LSU. Coyle goes for Matt Goodell. Stride for stride with Ronnie Prude, and this one is overthrown. Good coverage by Ronnie Prude in the corner.
This is we talk about the Alabama defense, and they are outstanding, one of the best in the country. But LSU, not too shabby either, not too far behind them. This defense of LSU, coming into today's game, had only given up 23 first-half points in the last 7 games. They've given up 10 today to Alabama, but a very stout defense in their own right.
3rd and 10. And again, we've talked about Jamie Christensen not being a long-range kicker. His longest this season, 43 yards. So they need some yards here. Oh, my gosh, it slipped right out of Brody Coyle's hands, and it is ruled a fumble, not a forward pass. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I thought he was throwing well.
Well, his arm was moving, but when did the ball come out? And he still may be feeling a little bit of the effects of that last safety blitz and hit from LaRon Landry. But how about the LSU defense responding right here at the end of the half?
Alabama uses its final timeout.
One of my greatest memories at the University of Alabama is the Sugar Bowl against Penn State. Alabama gold line stand to win the national championship.
Washington Huskies were ranked #1. Arizona had a great defense named the Desert Storm.
You're waiting for the players to come out of the tunnel, and when they come out of the tunnel, the whole stadium explodes.
12 national championships, 23 Southeastern Conference titles. I've got Alabama in my blood.
See the Cats come out, beat the #1 ranked team.
South Carolina football is the biggest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, there's tradition here, more than you ever imagined.
You talk about prevent defense. The reason you only see 8 LSU defenders is because 3 of them have their feet on the goal line right now.
Rather than, they're not going to take a chance on a blocked punt. So Brody Coyle sacrifice. He takes one for the team. That'll come off of his rushing average, which is a rule in college football I really don't understand, but nevertheless. In the 200-meter dash. This is a great kick by Christensen all the way through the end zone. And so LSU will get it with Jamarcus Russell at quarterback. They haven't had Joseph Adai. He was injured the last 2 weeks. And I think he's kind of a question mark as they come out on the field.
I think Justin Vincent's probably going to be the guy to go, but Jamarcus Russell, it's really on him. I mean, he's got to make some plays throwing the football, and LSU can't allow Alabama to run 19 more plays than they do in this second half, or they all have no chance to win. They're only down 10, but I think their offensive line has to do a better job opening up some holes in the running game, and they must convert some third downs. Only 1 of 6 in the first half.
They open at the 20. Russell with Vincent behind him. Play fake. Russell, a lot of time, but nobody open. So he comes across the middle for Buster Davis. It's out to the 37. First down. And let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, as you mentioned, Adai came into the game with a bruised left ankle already. Trainers told me that he re-injured it in the first half, and he'll probably play sparingly, maybe just third down situations. Back to you.
Okay, Tracy, thank you.
The reason he might be in there on third downs is he's an excellent blocker in pass protection, and he knows the blitz pickups, and he does that part of the game probably better than any of their backs. But again, we saw Jamarcus Russell make something happen off the scramble. It's not there at first, but he makes something happen on his own.
Rudy Neiswanger over the ball. Here comes the blitz. Russell gets rid of it out on the flat. It's caught by Vincent. He avoids a tackle and scoots down the sidelines to the 37-yard line.
Nice job by Justin Vincent, beating Freddie Roach to the corner. Again, you don't see this Alabama defense get out of position too much. It's a quick flare out to the back, and Freddie Roach thinks he's going to hem him in at the corner, but overruns the play. Nice job by Justin Vincent, slowing down and then cutting back to the inside. And 2 back-to-back excellent plays for LSU.
That is the first touchdown allowed by Alabama all year in the third quarter. Anthony Madison called for pass interference, a play that he would find disputable. And the touchdown will be a touchback. Brandon Brooks, one of the fifth-year seniors on this team. Here is what is at stake in the West. Alabama 6-0. LSU 4-1. Auburn 5-1. Of course, Auburn plays tonight at Georgia. And then next week, they will be at home to Alabama. If Alabama wins today, they control their own destiny. Same can be said for LSU. Auburn must win its final 2 games. And here is the irony of ironies preceding the Iron Bowl. Auburn has to pull for Alabama to win this game today for them to have a chance to get to Atlanta. First down and 10. Oh, bobbled snap. Who got it? New center, Taylor Britt, Brody Croyle.
Well, they didn't have any bobbles in the first half, but it was the pressure and the fast step off the line that forced the bad snap. Watch how quickly Claude Roten, number 98, jumps to the center. And Taylor Britt, he's so concerned with trying to get to his block, he doesn't make a good snap. First and foremost, the center must make a good snap. And that was very, very close to being disastrous for Alabama.
Brody Croyle, there's J.B. Klausner, who is Brody Croyle's best friend.
And Brody told us for 5 years the only guy he ever took snaps from was J.B. Klausner, other than maybe 25 snaps before the second half of last week. Now, he's had a whole week with Taylor Britt, but a lot of times that guy's up there thinking who he has to block, and he forgets about his first order of business.
Kenneth Darby is the running back. This is LaRon McClain, the fullback. Hand off on the draw. It's Darby. He gets 1 back. It'll be third down 11 as Kyle Williams, number 95, makes the stop.
I know that the defensive tackles at Tennessee are outstanding players, Mahalona and Harrell, but these 2 guys are so quick off the ball on their first step. They just wreak havoc with inside blockers because their first step is so fast and they never take a play off. Every single play, they are busting it. And boy, I'll tell you, it's an all-day job with those 2 guys.
Third and 11 out of the spread, a 3-point game. LSU showing blitz, they're coming. Low snap, Croyle has it, he's nailed. LaRon Landry, who has a word or two, a little excessive celebration, and Croyle is very slow getting up.
Well, we've seen LaRon Landry twice get in there on the safety blitz. He is going to come full speed right from there. Nobody picks him up. And Alabama had 2 backs in the backfield, and still didn't pick up the safety blitz. I'm a little unsure why they didn't get that picked up.
Croyle took a heck of a shot in the lower ribs. And Jeremy Schatz is on the punt. Skylar Green, one punt return for a touchdown earlier this season, 66 yards against Auburn. Shots short. This will bounce in front, and it is touched and down at the 44-yard line.
Ball is touched down at about the 45.
LaRon Landry, unimpeded.
Alabama had Matt Miller in here as a second back. And instead of staying there for the safety blitz, he's so concerned with helping that he's going to miss Landry. He's so concerned with helping against those tackles that he doesn't see the safety come right where he was, and Brody Croyle took a direct hit because of it. And he is still a little bit shaken up on the bench. That was a full-speed collision from LaRon Landry.
John Parker Wilson, the true freshman from Hoover, Alabama, is the backup to Brody Croyle. He's not played much this year. First down and 10. Best starting field position of the ball game for LSU. Russell with a play fake. Has all day. Goes on a crossing pattern to Bowe, and Bowe has a first down.
What a beautiful throw. The touch. I mean, we know Jamarcus Russell has the strong arm and can shoot it in there, but what great touch to throw across the field high enough so that Ramsey Robinson can't get a hand on the football. Great protection again, deep crossing route, but look at the touch. Up, enough air under it, out to the outside, impossible to cover for Robinson.
That's a gain of 28 yards, and Jamarcus Russell, nice play. First down and 10. LSU with an opportunity to lead for the first time. Vincent, nice little dance step to the right. And as he is down, we take time to go back to New York once again. Let's visit with Tim Brando in our New York studio.
Vern, after falling behind 10-0 to Wisconsin, Drew Tate is going to go to work and find Ryan Majerus here. 17-10 Hawkeyes as they try to dampen Barry Alvarez's swan song at Camp Randall. Vern?
Okay, thank Tim. Penn State, Ohio State, 6-1 records. Wisconsin, Michigan, one game back in the Big Ten. It's second down and 11. I formation. Again, Vincent is the running back. Four-man rush. Russell across the middle, wide open. He's tight end. Zinger, and it's over his head.
You know, that was a similar kind of play that we saw Alabama score on, because that was a corner blitz by Alabama, which left a voided area in the back of the end zone. And instead of a wide receiver, it was the tight end Zinger trying to get into that spot. Zinger caught his first touchdown pass. He's the tight end right here. He's the guy that's going to slip to the back of the end zone into a voided area. It was a zone blitz by Alabama, but nobody picked up the tight end till late. And Jamarcus Russell just overthrew it.
Third and 11. Russell from the spread.
4 seconds on the play clock. Not going to get it off.
Nope.
Les Miles called that timeout. Smart. You don't want to take a 5-yard penalty here.
With 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the third. We'll be back in just a moment. Forced a 3-and-out by Alabama. Got a short punt at the 46. And LSU now looks at third and 11 from the 17-yard line.
And 0 for 5 on third downs of this distance.
Russell, little inside pattern's got a man open, and he's going to be short of the first down.
How about D'Amico Ryans with the tackle? If he doesn't make a chest-high physical tackle, the big receiver Dwayne Bowe gets that forward for a first down. Because this was a great call by Jimbo Fisher at the right time. And watch 35, D'Amico Ryans fall back in and make a chest-high tackle on a big receiver and not let him go forward. If he tackles him low, Dwayne Bowe is able to get forward for the first down.
There's a flag, personal foul against LSU. D'Amico Ryans. His mom, Martha, works for a components plant in Bessemer, Alabama. D'Amico, her son. There's the foul. And it's a dead ball foul on Andrew Whitworth. D'Amico Ryans, he's an academic All-American. Joe Kynes was telling us yesterday his daughter, Sally Langston, is a first-grade teacher at Skyline Elementary here in town, and she had a reading program. She asked D'Amico Ryans to come in. Joe Kynes said he's the kind of young man who can give a reading to a first-grade class and have them cheer, then play in front of 90,000 and not make a mistake. Fourth down, they'll go for the field goal.
Boy, what a difference in the field goal attempt because of the penalty.
Jackson, plenty of distance. We are tied at 10.
The first person who should congratulate Chris Jackson is Andrew Whitworth. Wow. Big time kick.
Matt Flynn holds it. Chris Jackson ties it up. 10-10.
This was last week's Pontiac game-changing performance. Alabama quickly added to its 3-0.
Jackson will kick off. It's very short. And taken by Glenn Coffey. Breaks the first contact and manages to get out to the 25. Another 16 finalists for the Dratty Award. It is the Heisman Trophy of academic excellence in college football. And here's a list of the finalists, and it's not just Division I players. You see Ryans and Neiswanger from the SEC, along with quarterback Bradley Smith of Missouri. Division I AA represented by 2 young men, Division II by a couple, Division III, and the NAIA, Tyler Emmert of Carroll College in Montana. An $18,000 scholarship already has been given to each, and it is the most prestigious academic award in college football. Here's Darby. And let's go back and spend a moment with Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, after falling behind 17-0, Georgia Tech with a little steam left against Virginia. Reggie Ball to Demarius Bilbo, 24 yards. This ties the game. They're sneaking up in the ACC Coastal. And remember, Miami hosts Georgia Tech in a week. And LSU fans have their minds on Miami, too, with 1 loss in the BCS.
Now the current standings in the conference, 5-1 Virginia Tech. Miami at a 4-1 mark. Here's Croyle in trouble, sacked again, 3rd down. Wow.
Well, I think Bo Pelini at halftime has decided, you know what, we've got to go after Brody Croyle. If we think they're going to throw, we're going to bring more guys than they can block. Here's Sheavis Jackson coming from this corner position. Nobody there to pick him up on the backside. Brody knows it, tries to get forward and make something happen, but nowhere to go up the middle either because of the presence of Kyle Williams. Bo Pelini, and this is a blitz-oriented team, and I think they are feeling like right now we can squeeze these guys a little bit.
2 wide to the right, 1 to the left on 3rd and 14. And the blitz, Max blitz. Here's Keith Brown one-on-one, but he can't get out of jail.
Look at Kyle Williams out there making the play. I mean, this is, we talk about the speed and athleticism of the Alabama defense, and they have that. But so does this LSU defense, a very talented defense. Zenon has him penned in, and there's Kyle Williams running from his inside tackle position out to make the play.
And so Kyle Williams heads to the bench. Physical and psychological leader, I think emotional leader of this LSU team. Skylar Green is back. Jeremy Schatz will punt on 4th down, as again it's 3 and out for Alabama. Low kick, Schatz really low. Flag is down. Skylar Green has it.
Penalty is going to be a hold, I think, on LSU, which will help Alabama, but that low kick, you don't want to kick it low in the middle of the field to Skylar Green. If you're going to kick it low, you better be kicking it to a sideline where you pen him in a little bit.
In the Southeastern Conference. So a breath of life now for Alabama. And on 1st down, Coyle wants to throw under tremendous pressure again. He's going to have to tuck it and run, and he's out to the 47-yard line. Melvin Oliver with the tackle. Enormous pressure being applied by this defense of LSU.
Well, we said, coming in for Alabama, the key question, could their offensive line block these guys? They did a pretty decent job in the first half, but ever since they've come out of the locker room, LSU's defense has kicked it up a notch. They've blitzed it a little bit more, and the defensive front has had their way with the Alabama offensive line here in the third quarter.
Second down and 1. Darby, quick opener. First down, Jesse Daniels with the tackle, but they cross the 50 to the LSU 47.
I think they've got to keep running those inside draws to Darby, quick hitters, let them rush upfield, and I think they need to go play action with max protection and take some shots deep because LSU wants to blitz. That means man-to-man coverage outside. I think they've got to throw it vertically.
Alabama undefeated, 6-0 in conference play. The winner of this one, it's a huge game because the winner, either Alabama or LSU, will have destiny in its hands. First down and 10. They'll give it to Darby again. He tries to cut back, hit up high by Ali Highsmith, number 7. I'm thinking about Mike Shula in our conversation with him. Mike Shula was wearing flip-flops again yesterday, representing his high school, the Columbus Explorers. He proudly said they're number 2 in the state of Florida. They're undefeated. But one of his teammates was Alonzo Highsmith, the fine player at the University of Miami, and his nephew is Ollie Highsmith. And guess who's here today? That familiar man, Mr. Shula.
People give him a lot of space in the booth. He doesn't like to talk during the game. He'll talk during commercials, maybe at halftime. Not much during the game.
Second down, 10-10 ball game, late third quarter. Darby again, he goes right. Antoine Caldwell, the pulling guard. That's going to be third down. Aggressive pursuit by LSU, and there's Kyle Williams again. Ronnie Cruz doing a little jawing at DJ Hall. Kyle Williams, one of the 3 married players on this team. He and Andrew Whitworth, in the despair that surrounded Hurricane Katrina, ordered up an 18-foot trailer, and the players in the LSU squad filled it to capacity with their own goods and then distributed to the needy in the Baton Rouge area among the evacuees. He's quite a young man. He and his wife Jill also teach a Sunday school every day after a game. Time called. That is not the same as yay, Alabama. 17 seconds to go in the third. 10-10.
3rd and 7 for Alabama, only 1 of 7 from this distance.
Here's Coyle, hit again, sacked for the 5th time. 5 sacks. They are dominating this offensive line of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Well, here in the second half, they have cranked it up quite a bit. A pair of seniors up there in Kyle Williams and Claude Roten, Melvin Oliver. They're blitzing some safeties, but it's those 2 tackles that it all starts with them. 95 and 98, they start the pressure. And when they collapse the pocket, there's nowhere for Brody Croyle to go.
And that is the end of the third quarter with our score 10-10. LSU and Alabama will return to Tuscaloosa. Right after this word, the fourth quarter. 4th down and 13. Jeremy Schatz on to punt. He's punted 4 times, an average of 39.7. Skylar Green at the 10. They come, contact, but no flag, and a fair catch taken by Skylar Green at the 11-yard line.
Even though Alabama didn't get anything out of that drive, they did significantly flip the field position here to start the fourth quarter. Remember, they were on to punt, and the holding penalty, instead of LSU getting the ball on the 45-yard line, now they're starting on their own 12. A much different scenario for Jamarcus Russell and the LSU offense. And he's backed up against that loud end zone with the Alabama student.
On first down, play fake. Russell gets a great play from Hester. There might have been holding. Jawan Simpson, he lets it go. There was a grunt, and that one went almost 80 yards. Oh, he can fling it. But I thought Hester was going to get called for holding, and there is a player down.
It is Jawan Simpson, who was in
10. Joseph Adai is in the backfield. Here's Simpson, tucks it, gets a good block. Russell, I beg your pardon. It was Simpson who was hurt, and he's all the way out to the 27-yard line. That'll be a first down. We play in the fourth quarter. Let's go back to Tim in New York.
All right, Vern, a significant score because Rice ended a losing streak today, beating Tulane 42-34. They had lost 14 games in a row entering today's action. Rice Owls, as well as the Buffalo Bulls, beat Kent State, snapping long losing streaks, but the Owls still have the losing streak category intact. This time it's the Temple Owls with 11.
Nice. Put on your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbon on it, baby.
First down and 10. Here's the toss. Left side, it's Vincent. He is nailed.
Well, what a big-time play by Jamarcus Russell there on that quarterback draw. That's the 5th play in this second half for the LSU offense of 10 yards or more. And it came at a critical time to get him out from away from that end zone and not have to punt from in the end zone. Sometimes just getting one first down is critical in a field position game, and Jamarcus Russell did a great job of running that quarterback draw straight up the middle of the Alabama defense.
Second down. Here's Russell. Finds Bo. Little out pattern on the right side. He's all the way out to the 38-yard line.
Perfect.
That's a gain of 11.
Yeah, great timing by Jamarcus Russell. Threw before Bo came out of the break. Had he held on to that ball, he might have gotten sacked, because Jeremy Clark, number 99, was bearing down on him, but he threw it right on time.
Bo with 5 catches for 82 yards. Blitz. Vincent nailed, and again it sets LSU up with a second and long. Tomorrow, Greg Norman and an all-star lineup pair up and tee off at the Franklin-Templeton shootout. Full coverage tomorrow, either 1 or 4 from Naples, Florida on CBS. Second down, 11.
Well, what the Alabama defense could really use right now is a turnover. They have been very good in that. +7 on the season. LSU struggled with turnovers early in the year, the first 5 games. Only 1 turnover in the last 3 games, so they've really done a nice job of protecting the football.
And we have had 0 turnovers in this ball game. Here's Russell with the play fake, and again a lot of time, and he fires it low. It is ruled a completion, I believe. Yes, at the 13-yard line.
Well, Alabama complaining the ball hit the ground. They may take a look at it, but what they don't have to take a look at is no red jerseys around Jamarcus Russell. I think they might rule that off. The ball did hit the ground as he was going down to the ground. He caught it out in front with his hands, but as he went to the ground, it hit the ground. 7+. Alabama has not been able to get a lot of pressure on Jamarcus Russell here in the second half, though. Will they come after him on this play?
They will not. They bring only 4. Russell, deep right side, man wide open. Oh, boy, Benny Brazell. Huge third down conversion. That's a gain of 27. Benny Brazell, 14 times an All-American in the outstanding track and field program at LSU.
Well, only 9 catches on the season. I think he went out and up. He was the guy going in motion, and he faked the out. Here he is. He's going to go out and then turn up the sideline, and when he turned up, he kicked in that great speed and Russell able to find him with the football. Look at that separation because of the speed.
A gain of 27. They needed 11. They've got a first down at the 37-yard line. Here's Vincent going right. Rudy Griffin, number 90, with the tackle.
You know, when we were here a few weeks ago for the Tennessee game, a game that Alabama won late, 6-3, it had the same kind of feel where it was so close you knew any one play could totally change the game. That's the way this game is feeling here in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was 3rd and 11. LSU hadn't converted a first down on 3rd down from that distance, and they hit a big one. And now they're right in Alabama territory. 2nd down and 9. Double tight end set. Singer joins David Jones. Here comes the blitz. Russell, good blitz pickup. He delivers it. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Well, they just had a 3rd and 11, and he found Benny Brazell. And let's check in with Tracy Wilson. Trace?
Vern, an update on Alabama linebacker Juwan Simpson. It is his right ankle. They are taping him up right now, and he's going to go and try and play on it.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. 3rd and 9 here in a 10-10 ball game. Vincent splits way wide to the left, so it's an empty backfield.
Alabama looks confused on defense.
Little inside cut, caught by Bo. He's caught short at the 30-yard line. It will be 4th and 3.
Alabama really looked like they weren't sure what they wanted to be in on that play, but they were able to make the tackle short of the first down.
Now they're going to bring Chris Jackson on. This should be in the range of 47 yards. His longest of the season is 44. And this would break the tie. We opened this game talking about the number 13. This from 47 yards to give LSU 13 points. And the lead, it cuts left. No!
Every one of his kicks has been dangerously close left. He made one narrowly left. He just missed one. Your defensive break. The first half, Alabama ran 19 more plays than LSU, and they outscored them 10-0. Second half, LSU has run 12 more plays than Alabama, and they've outscored them 10-0.
Here's Coyle. They give it off to Darby. He tries to skirt the edge. Nice pursuit. He's down by Kenneth Hollis, number 56. First time in the history of the rivalry between these two teams. They both come in ranked in the top 5. Alabama or LSU, whomever wins this game will control their own destiny. Now, if Alabama were to win this afternoon and Georgia to defeat Auburn, then Alabama's in.
But you can't, I mean, people say, well, then next week doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. Right. 2nd down and 10. Make it 11 officially. Here's Coyle. Blitz coming, Coyle, one hopper.
That time he got protection. He had time, and a lot of times a quarterback, when you're not used to getting protection, you don't step into a throw. You kind of have a tendency to throw it off your back foot. I think Brody threw this one off his back foot, even when he didn't need to. Look at Darby picking up the blitz. And Croyle, you see him backing up after he throws. That means he's not following through, and his momentum is not shifting forward properly.
And so 3rd and 11 again. 3 first downs in this half. The biggest one was on the holding call on the punt. And it's 3rd and 11 here. Comes the max blitz. Coyle inside. Ezekiel Knight drops his 3rd pass of the ball game.
I mean, you've got to make the catch. If you want to win a game like this in November, a high-stakes game, and stay in contention for the SEC championship and possibly a national championship, you've got to make these plays. You get the protection. You make the throw. A tall receiver going across the middle has got to make that catch and turn it upfield. Instead, Alabama 3 and out.
4th and 11, Skylar Green. This time he awaits the punt at the 30-yard line. Well, you see the drop passes. It just underlines the absence of Tyrone Prothro in this lineup. Fair catch, Skylar Green. At the 32-yard line. 38-yard punt, nothing on the return. In this half, LSU is dominated, but we are tied at 10. Tyrone Prothro sitting alongside Keith Brown and Brody Croyle, the young man who was injured in October, hospitalized for 26 days. What a threat he was in so many ways, and do they miss him.
And they miss his maturity. He was a junior. All 4 of their receivers now are sophomores.
Russell, a little swing pass out of the flat. It's dropped by Vincent because I believe he knew D'Amico Ryans was about 3 feet away.
Yeah, and coming fast. I mean, they've hit this play a couple times today with Vincent, but you're right. He felt number 35 bearing down.
2nd and 10. In a game of this magnitude, with the aggressive play we've had, 0 turnovers, none by either team. 2nd and 10. 3 men down for Joe Kine's defense. There's a change from Jamarcus Russell. Again, he's got time from the backside, though. Keith Jones or Terrence Jones gets there. About the time the ball was delivered, incomplete. It will be 3rd down.
Boy, did he throw that thing hard. Terrence Jones was the guy with the pressure. Number 55 coming from the bottom of the screen. He's going to get there just a tad late for a sack, but he still does a nice job getting around the tight end Singer. You know, he hasn't played much, so he looked quick coming off that corner.
Late adds now defensively for Alabama as Gilberry Clark and Mark Anderson come on. It's 3rd down and 10. In a 10-10 game, Joseph Adai is in the backfield. Here's the rollout. Russell lets it go. It's caught, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. Early Doucette, number 9.
Boy, these 2 defenses are good. I mean, they are fun to watch. You can say all you want about, well, the offenses aren't too good in the SEC. Forget that. These are great defenses in the SEC. And it starts up front. The defensive lines in the SEC are similar to NFL-type defensive lines, and they just create so much pressure, and there's so much speed behind them, it is hard to move the football.
Chris Jackson, the fun. Interesting, Urban Meyer at Florida, Les Miles at LSU, both in their first year. We've talked with both of them several times this year. They say the most impressive thing they've noticed in the league, the athleticism of the defenses that they face each week.
A costly time.
Both teams ranked in the top 5 in the country.
You mentioned how Alabama missed Prothro as a receiver. They miss him badly here, too. Playing the special teams.
Brandon Brooks is back. Beautiful punt by Chris Jackson. And Brooks has to back up and take the fair catch inside the 10.
Great kick.
53-yard punt, and again, nothing on the return. He's had punts of 47, 48, and 53 with no returns. Line stat of the game here midway through the 4th quarter. In the last 16 offensive plays, -10 for Alabama. Get complete game stats at CBSSportsline.com. If you are an Alabama fan, here's a little more amplified stat. 207 yards for the Crimson Tide at the half. In this half, offensively, 4 yards.
And they've got to find a way to move the football here. Don't be greedy, but get a couple 1st downs if any way you can.
That one knocked down by Chase Pittman, number 94.
The problem for Alabama, they're backed up inside their 10, and in this part of the field, this is where the most LSU fans are in this end zone, as well as the LSU band. So if there was ever going to be a crowd advantage for LSU in this game in this stadium, this is the situation right here.
The advantage is decidedly less than that of Alabama.
Yes, considerably.
2nd and 10. Croyle, 13 of 30. And he has missed his last 5 of his last 6. DJ Stabler in at the left guard position, double tight end, I formation. That's McCall. They keep it on the ground. Darby searching. Out across the 10 to the 12, and again we've got another 3rd down.
And see, the reason why it's so important to try to get a 1st down, 2 is ideal. 1 is you'll settle for is just so when you do have to punt the football, you can change field position a little bit. If you go 3 and out here, and Jeremy Schatz has to come in and punt with his feet near the goal line, LSU's going to get the ball with excellent field position. And we've seen some drop passes in this game by Alabama. These young sophomore receivers, DJ Hall, Keith Brown, Ezekiel Knight, somebody needs to step up right now and make a play for the Crimson Tide.
Matt Miller is in, number 37. Wide to the left side. The spread is a four-man rush. They stunt. Coyle in trouble.
Snap.
Yep.
Again, Taylor Britt so concerned with the rush. Kyle Williams that he rolled the snap back to Brody Croyle on the shotgun.
That is the 6th sack of Brody Coyle tonight.
You have to take care of your business first. Bad snap. And Brody Croyle nowhere to go. Boy, oh boy.
Believe it or not, this is the first time since 1959, that LSU has been involved in the battle of top 5 teams. Then it was against Ole Miss, and Billy Cannon settled things. Here's Skylar Green at the 45, trying to emulate that feat from 1959. Shots, kicks it, high, short. Green, there will be no return of this when he takes a fair catch at the 41. He obviously wasn't listening. He has no sense of drama. Remember that? Number 1, LSU against Ole Miss on Halloween night at Death Valley. 1959. This is still one of the most famous plays in the history of college football. Billy Cannon. Some say that 11 different Ole Miss Rebels had a shot at him. He returned it 89 yards. They went on to win it 7-3. That was the last time the Tigers have been involved in a battle of top 5 teams. That's amazing to me. 6:38 to go in this one. They've got great field position. Play fake. Russell deep. Bo's there. Can't hang on. He juggled it.
Great play by Simeon Castile. He just stayed with it and fought the ball out. Now, I thought there was a hold on Terrence Jones. I thought 55 got held on his pass rush. They did not call it. He was still there to get into the face of Jamarcus Russell, but Simeon Castile with a great play. Watch the pressure coming from Jamarcus Russell's left. There's the block. I think they could have called holding on Justin Vincent. They didn't. He still got there, and then watch Castile at the end of the play. He reads the ball the whole way, gets his left hand in there, and rips it out.
2nd and 10 in a 10-10 game. Keith Zinger, the tight end, in motion to the right to provide blocking help for Vincent. He's hit behind the line.
How about the way this guy's playing? In relief of Juwan Simpson, Terrence Jones has come in and has played outstanding football for Alabama. And that shows how well coached a defense is when your subs can come in and you don't miss a beat. He was in on pressure the down before. This time he chases the sweep down from the backside.
And another of those 3rd and long.
Yep. Neither team has done anything on 3rd and 7+ in this ball game. 1 of 8 for LSU in that situation.
Joseph Adai is in. Davis is wide to the right. Bo is the wide man to the left, out of the gun.
Might do the quarterback draw again.
Here's Russell. That's what it is. They got him. Terrence Jones.
And Wallace Gilberry also in there. You know, the last time they converted a 3rd down and long, it was a quarterback draw that Jamarcus Russell ran. Alabama a little bit clued into it that time, and Wallace Gilberry from his defensive end spot is going to make the play. He comes on an inside move, and right there to wrap him up.
Here's Chris Jackson. He has been outstanding tonight. Brandon Brooks at the 10.
Boy, how about the Alabama defense playing on the short field, 3 and out, get the ball back to Brody Croyle.
Jackson. This one not as effective. We'll see what kind of bounce he gets. Oh,
perfect coverage.
Ha. Daniel Francis. A 42-yard punt, and Francis perfectly positioned.
And there's a reason when you lead the conference in net punting and almost half of your punts are down inside the 20-yard line, you work on it, you stress it, and you execute it. And that's beautiful work by the LSU special teams, keeping the field position advantage.
Now Brody Croyle, his final home game as a fifth-year senior from Rainbow City, Alabama. Got the touchdown, but after that, it's been bleak.
Some drop passes, some pressures, some mistakes. And right now, bad field position again.
Play fake from the end zone. Doyle pumps once. He's got a man, and it goes right through the hands of Nick Walker. That's 6 drops. 6 drops.
Boy, and that's the kind of play you have to have. You throw it out of your own end zone on first down. Now, remember, again, this is a big-time, high-tension game. And right there, Nick Walker is a freshman. He's a redshirt freshman. The other 2 tight ends are true freshmen. The 4 wide receivers you're playing are sophomores. Not making an excuse, but those are young kids playing on a very big stage tonight.
Saw the graphic, 0 yards, Alabama in this half. 2nd down and 10. It's Darby and McClain in the backfield in the eye behind Brody Croyle. Croyle quickly. This one held on. Keith Brown has it, but he can't get much. He just manages to get out near the 10. 4.5 to go. A battle of the number 4 ranked team in the country and the number 5. We are tied at 10. Alabama had a 10-0 lead at the half. LSU very effective in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter to make it a 10-7 game. Chris Jackson tied it up. It has been a really difficult struggle defensively. And the winner of this one will control its own destiny.
3rd and 4 now for Alabama. They are 2 of 3 from this kind of distance on 3rd down. A must-make situation here for Alabama.
Here's Croyle back. Darts out of trouble. Has to throw it on the run. And it is tipped and incomplete. It'll be 4th down. It was intended for Keith Brown.
Well, good defense by LSU. They just won't let him out of there. They had a shot on 1st down. They came with a corner blitz on 2nd down. And now Melvin Oliver and Claude Roten do what they do best. Get after the quarterback, force him out of the pocket, and then Oliver forces him to throw it away. Excellent defense by LSU. And Brody Croyle knows this field position thing is really starting to take its toll on us.
Well, and they have to punt again to Skylar Green, who averages 12.5 per return. In his career, he has returned 4 for touchdowns. And he's waiting at the 50-yard line. Here's the punt. And Skylar Green will return it. Looks for help. Nailed. Great special team pursuit by the Crimson Tide. Terrence Jones again. Down to make the tackle. But it's a short field for LSU. Tonight on CBS, we'll begin with CSI New York, followed by CSI and then 48 Hours Mystery. To my continuing puzzlement, CSI Steamboat Springs remains a work in progress. One of these days. 3.5 to go. After 50, 10-10 game. If LSU wins, they can get to Atlanta, the SEC championship game, by running the table. They've got Ole Miss and Arkansas left. Here's the handoff to Vincent. Darts right, comes back left, picks up 3. If Alabama wins, they control their destiny.
And that's why, so much talk this week about the BCS and, is Alabama going to have the same situation that Auburn had last year, go undefeated, be left out? And everybody who knows this team and knows this league knows that, Alabama's 2 toughest games are this one and the one they finish with next week. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, they've got a lot of work ahead of them.
2nd and 7. 3 men down. It's only a 3-man rush. Russell comes near side. It's incomplete. Never caught it. Intended for Bo. Anthony Madison, the 5th-year senior from Thomasville, Alabama, is there to make the tackle. What a defensive effort by both of these clubs. Bo Pelini's LSU Tigers, Joe Kynes, Alabama Crimson Tide. 3rd and 7.
Alabama's defense, one of only 2 defenses ranked in all 5 major defensive categories in the top 10. Them and Miami. Number 1 in scoring defense. Number 3 in total defense. Number 4 in pass defense.
On third down. Russell goes right. It's caught. First down. Buster Davis with the grab. And a third down conversion.
8 catches in the last 2 games, coming in single coverage. Ramsey Robinson giving him some cushion. Harper trying to get there to help, but not able to get underneath that throw. And Jamarcus Russell puts it low and outside for Davis. Of course, Davis was the guy who had the catch that looked like a catch that they overruled that time, hung on to it. Or are they going to look at this one as well?
They will look at it again.
Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, now them together, wouldn't be as many as are here in Tuscaloosa.
And so first down and 10 in a tied game. LSU has 1 timeout left. Jackson is 1 of 3 kicking field goals. Here's the draw play to Vincent up the middle. Tackled at the 34-yard line. That's a nice first down play.
Chris Jackson made his field goal from 42 yards. He missed from 43 and also from 47. Just now moved inside that target line.
Longest of the season, 44. The longest of his career, as you saw, 53. In the eye. That's the tight end, David Jones. They'll keep it on the ground for position. They get to the 33-yard line. It'll be third down. So if they don't make a yard on the next play, it would be a 50-yard effort for Chris Jackson.
Third and 5.
And the clock continues. We're under 90 seconds.
Alabama still with 2 timeouts left. I think right now Mike Shula and Joe Kynes feeling like if we can stop him here, there's a good chance he won't make this field goal. If they gain some yards, even if they don't gain a first down, they're probably going to have to use a timeout.
Stelz is the fullback.
LSU used the timeout.
That's their last one.
Boy.
Limited action in this half.
There's single coverage outside if you want to throw it.
Here comes the blitz from the corner. Russell dodges the man, throws it deep. He's got a man open and overthrows him. Oh, boy, it was Jacob Hester.
Boy, Terrence Jones was the guy that was in there and could have gotten a sack. And Jamarcus Russell, who we've already said is maybe not the most nimble guy, but he certainly is athletic enough to move in the pocket and avoid pressure. And this is where he's made some of his biggest throws today, outside the pocket, just a little too far for Hester.
And it will be from 50 to break the tie. Chris Jackson, 1 of 3 today. Officially, we'll call it 49 yards. Gant Petty will snap it. Matt Flynn, the backup quarterback, is the holder. For the lead, Jackson has it on the way. Wide right. And the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
And by far the best field position here in the 4th quarter for Alabama.
Tried to compensate.
And the good thing,
3 of them left.
The good thing for Alabama, because the third down play was an incomplete pass, it stopped the clock. So they still have 2 timeouts with 54 seconds left to try to get into Jamie Christensen's range.
Jamie Christensen is not a long-range kicker either. His longest is 43. Here's Croyle from the spread and the blitz across the middle. It's caught on the deflection. Can you say Franco Harris and Terry Bradshaw?
It bounced off the head of Keith Brown, I think, right into the arms of Kenneth Darby.
Not quite the immaculate reception. The clock running with 38 seconds to go.
And you remember when we were here for the Tennessee game, that game-winning field goal was set up by 1 big throw.
Blitz again. Croyle on the out. Diving catch. Catch is made, but the clock's still running. They call timeout.
Have to.
Complete to DJ Hall.
24 seconds to go, 3rd and 2. DJ Hall caught the touchdown pass. Chris Jackson is 1 of 4. And in the SEC West, Alabama 6-0. Auburn playing tonight in Athens against Georgia. LSU comes in. Their one loss was in overtime, ironically. They've played 2 overtime games this year. They beat Auburn in overtime. They lost to Tennessee. If Alabama wins, they control their own destiny. Same can be said for LSU. 3rd and 2.
Well, if you're LSU now, Bo Pelini, what do you do defensively? I mean, they're still on their side of the 50-yard line. Do you try to pressure and create a turnover or a sack and a fumble? Or do you lay back and play zone and just not get yourself in a position where they can hit a big throw down the field and then just try to win in overtime?
Brody Coyle, recruited by Mike DuBose, who was fired before Brody Coyle played a game for him. He played 2 years for Dennis Franchione. Franchione abandoned this team and took a job at Texas A&M. Mike Price never got to coach here. Mike Shula has led them through the shadows and into this undefeated record, and now Brody Coyle trying to get his team in field goal range. They'll keep it on the ground. Here comes Darby. He's got the first, but he stays in bounds. Now the clock will stop while they move the chain.
Clock stops while they move the chain. You can spike it right away to stop the clock and save that last timeout. Looks like they may be calling a play, though.
And the clock still has not been marked. Now it is. Here's Coyle back. Little outlet back, and Darby gets out of bounds at the 49-yard line with 9 seconds to go. Chris Jackson. Jamie Christensen. It's 2nd and 7.
9 seconds, not a whole lot of time for Brody Coyle here. You can't hold on to the ball very long. If you throw it into the middle and he's still running, this clock's probably going to run out. And we're headed to overtime. If you throw it to the sideline quick enough, I don't know if you're getting into field goal range or not. Then you might just have to take one throw to the end zone. Safety's up for LSU. Nobody deep back here.
And so Coyle takes a shot for DJ Hall. He's down there and it's overthrown. It was pretty decent coverage by Ronnie Prude. And now we have 2 seconds left.
Well, LSU, you see no safeties. That's one-on-one coverage right there. Ronnie Prude, their best cover corner against DJ Hall. Single coverage all the way, and Prude running stride for stride with Hall. That was a good no call, just Brody Coyle not able to connect. Wanted a little bit of a bump, but I think that's a good no call in that situation. And now LSU with the 3 guys deep, they're ready to go to overtime. Who has the advantage in overtime? I'd say Alabama for 2 reasons. Number 1, they're at home. Number 2, the kicker on the other side has just missed a critical kick that could have won the game.
Timeout, Alabama. That is their last one. And so they will have a chance for one Hail Mary.
What a game. 4 of the top 6 scoring defenses in all of college football in the SEC. Alabama number 1. This LSU defense number 6. Also in that mix. Auburn at number 4. Georgia at number 5.
10-10, 2 seconds to go. Over in the Eastern Division, Georgia hosting Auburn tonight. They're 5-1. South Carolina won again today. They are 7-3. If Georgia wins one of its 2 remaining games in the SEC, they close out the regular season against Georgia Tech. They will be in Atlanta in the SEC championship. And so, 10-10 game. Brody Coyle from Rainbow City, Alabama. LSU has 3 men spread across the 10-yard line. The middleman is Jesse Daniels. And this is the ultimate Big Ben play.
And this Alabama front 5 better make sure they block these 3 LSU guys, because you don't want Brody Coyle to get hit here and have any kind of a turnover off of a sack.
3-man rush. Coyle, little swing pass out to Glenn Coffey. He's down the sidelines, but he's got to score. He's still running. Gets to the 10. The game is over. We're going to overtime. There was a sense of anticipation in the end zone because had he gotten a couple of blocks, might have done it. We go to overtime.
Well, not a bad idea. Instead of going for the Hail Mary, I'm not so sure that wasn't going to be a hook and lateral, though, to Keith Brown first, because I think that's where Brody Croyle looked first and then flipped it outside to Coffey instead.
Alabama has not played an overtime game this year. As we mentioned, LSU 1-1. Overtime. This game has reached its completion. We are about to go to overtime. A 10-10 game. Two different halves. Alabama so dominate in the first half, and then LSU overwhelmingly had the advantage in this second half. Here are the overtime rules in college football. The winner of the coin toss chooses to play either offense or defense. The series will begin at the 25-yard at center, replacing J.B. Klausner. Here's Croyle. They will keep it. There's a flag as the handoff goes to Darby. This one thrown by Matt Austin, the referee, which normally indicates it's going to be against Alabama. And it might be the dreaded holding call.
Illegal shift on the offense. Number 88, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's the redshirt freshman tight end, Nick Walker. So 1st and 15.
As if you needed any more penalty against you, against this LSU defense that has really played downhill here in the second half.
Keith Brown is a late arrival now. He replaces Travis McCall, the extra tight end. And so on 1st and 15, Jamarcus Russell getting ready for his turn over on the far sideline. 1st down 15, a 10-10 game. LaRon McClain, the fullback, sets up in front of Darby. LSU looks like it might be coming again. They are not. It's a regular 4-man rush. Here's Croyle. He's got DJ Hall to the 21-yard line. Ronnie Prude with a tackle.
Right now LSU is going to put 8 guys up in the box. They're going to try to outnumber them in the running game because of how much respect they have for Ken Darby. So either LaRon Landry or Jesse Daniels is probably always going to be up there. That means 1 free safety and a lot of single coverage on the outside.
2nd down and 6. Brown goes wide to the left. So does DJ Hall. Walker, the tight end, is tight right. Darby comes right, gets no blocking help. On his own, he's down to the 17-yard line.
Nice defense by Melvin Oliver and Ollie Highsmith. Oliver was the first guy to get penetration and force it outside. Highsmith came and finished off the play.
3rd and 2.
At the 17.
Ball at the 17. If Christensen has to kick one from here, it will be a 34-yarder. He's 1 of 2 in the game. Croyle sends DJ Hall to the opposite side. He's to the left side. That's McCall in motion. On 3rd and 2, play fake. Croyle looks deep, nobody there. Now he's in real trouble. Drills it, dropped. Again, 7. Ezekiel Knight has now dropped. Now that's Darby, I beg your pardon, 34, not 84. 4th down.
Well, that was a tough throw. I mean, obviously the play was play action designed to go this way and get Brody Croyle to throw it quick. It wasn't there, and so he had to improvise. He didn't like what he saw with McClain. He didn't like the tight end, so now everybody's covered up. He's got to come back this way and try to make something happen. And Darby uncovers, but that was a shot.
Right hash mark just inside. Jamie Christensen, 1 of 2. This is from 34 yards out. Matt Miller, high snap, but he gets it down. The kick is up. Kick is good. Now the ball goes over to LSU. Les Miles talks with his sophomore quarterback, Jamarcus Russell.
I've never played in an overtime game like this, but in a situation like this, I'd be tempted first play to try to throw it in the end zone and win it on one play here. Now, Alabama scored. You can win it with a touchdown rather than go a bunch of plays and let this crowd really get souped up. Maybe take a shot at it here on first down.
Davis and Doucette, the wideouts, go wide to the left. Simeon Castile goes over to help defensively. Here's Russell, a little swing pass. He's got a man open. It's Vincent down the sidelines and out of bounds at the 15.
Nice job by Early Doucette, wide receiver blocking out there. That was a design play to get Vincent outside, and the wide receiver came in and blocked the linebacker to spring him loose. D'Amico Ryans got blocked by the wide receiver, Early Doucette, and a good first down play for LSU.
First down at the 15-yard line after a gain of 11. 10, actually. Zinger, the tight end, is off the line to the left side. First and 10. Russell with a play fake. Looks for Bo. He's not open. Freelance is left. He's scrambling. It's one-on-one, and a nice defensive job by Charlie Pepra. Number 26.
That was a veteran move by Charlie Pepra, not biting on it and coming up too soon, staying in position in case Russell tried to throw it. And then as soon as he knew he was committed, he went and tackled him low around the legs. Rather than try to hit a bigger guy up high, went right for the legs.
Second down and 10. Terrence Jones is out. Matt Collins comes in at linebacker. Again, Jawan Simpson injured and on the bench. Second and 10.
Collins plays in the middle. Now Roach has moved to outside linebacker with this group in.
One wide out. Draw play, reverse. They give it off and they come to the near side. It's Xavier Carter, he of the world-class speed, and that's a fine job defensively.
Yeah, it was, but how about the effort by Jamarcus Russell blocking D'Amico Ryans? They ran the reverse, and it looked like D'Amico was going to chase it down for a loss. And Jamarcus Russell turns in a pretty good block. Watch D'Amico Ryans, 35. Read the play. Now, as he's in pursuit, Jamarcus is going to peel back and get enough of a block to let the man get outside. Now, it's still good defense by Alabama, but they gained yards instead of losing yards.
And so the chess match continues. It's 3rd and 6. From the 11. Vincent and Hester are in the backfield. Both capable of catching the ball. Here's Russell. Nobody open. Fires it in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. LSU has won. Dwayne Bowe.
And once again, it came off the scramble. Jamarcus Russell has made many big throws today when he has left the pocket and improvised. That time he won the game with it.
The dream season ends for Alabama at home.
But you got two backs in, so they're going to run a route, and it's just going to be a two-man route for Jamarcus Russell with max protection. They're going to keep guys in the block. He doesn't like what he sees, so he leaves the pocket. It was only a four-man rush, and he bought that extra time, and you see him flick that wrist on the move, this time for a touchdown. Great job by Bowe, also shielding the defender with his body, coming back for the football.
It was Charlie Pepra who made the fine tackle on Jamarcus Russell, previously victimized on the touchdown pass.
We asked the question at the beginning of the day, could Jamarcus Russell manage the game in this environment with the stakes this high? I'd say he answered that question quite clearly. Excellent job of protecting the football and making plays when he needed to.
LSU now controls its destiny. They have 2 games remaining. Let's take a look at the play of the game presented by Wrangler 5-Star Premium Denim Jeans. Here's the call from Jim Hawthorne. Jamarcus Russell as LSU puts the plug in an Alabama unbeaten season. They have 2 games remaining. They have destiny in the clutch of their hands as they head back home. Tonight on CBS, CSI New York, followed by CSI and 48 Hours Mystery. For Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, see you next week.